Minister, Mayor Wade Brown, daredevil test driver of the Tesla, guest presenters, councillors, sponsors, our sponsors, EECA, Carbridge, Wellington Electricity, along with NZTA and the Ministry of Transport, fellow electric vehicle devotees, thanks for coming on this monsoonal Wellington morning. And thank you for lending weight to this first consideration of the ways and means and the challenges of shifting this country's road transportation beyond the hydrocarbon era and into a cleaner, healthier and more responsible regime. We all know it's going to happen. It's a question of how best to facilitate it. When you think about it, the electric vehicle revolution has been around a long time. It's been a long time coming. Back in the 1950s, I remember going with my father to a Walt Disney movie, which featured a car known as Grandma's Electric, battery-driven 1920s jalopy driven, I think, by Donald Duck's grandmother. If you're old enough, you might remember this. When we emerged into the daylight, into a world of carbon-belching internal combustion engines, I asked my father, where are all the electric cars? And we don't have any, he said, and I'm damn sure we never will. He was a petrol head. It seems astonishing that that assumption was good for another half-century, with all the dramas such as that at General Motors, which I hope we'll hear more from Chelsea Sexton shortly, which saw the repeated suppression of electric technology and which is probably still happening. Now, however, finally, we know that the future is electric, regardless of whether those vehicles are driven by humans or by autonomous means. The floodgates are finally opening. The acceleration of progress in many European and American cities is evidence enough of that. For this country, with a much higher ratio of renewables in the energy mix, it's an absolute no-brainer. We in the Wellington region are determined to achieve the transformation as rapidly as possible. Wellington has a reputation as the smartest, most innovative community in the country, and this transformation will be a natural reflection of that. We need to act, and we need to act soon. Land transport currently accounts for 31% of this region's gross emissions, and the reliance on the private car as the first option for the majority isn't going to change overnight. Greater Wellington and Wellington City have been working together on the challenge of emissions reduction. The councils in the region are working enthusiastically together also around fleet transitions and charging infrastructure as part of a regional electric vehicle working group. The convener, Sigurd Magnusson, will speak about this in the afternoon. My council has embarked on a fleet replacement program based on the concept of EV first unless an alternative can be fully justified. For instance, off-road vehicles. It's a bit hard to have an electric vehicle that goes through a riverbed. But it'll happen, I assume. The idea for this gathering arose partly from our determination to begin the process of transforming the Wellington regional bus fleet to full electric. The regional council is responsible for the bus transport system here, and for trains and ferries. Our commuter trains are almost completely electrified. Buses have yet to start on that journey. We own the trains, but we don't own the buses, and so the challenge is to provide real incentives through the operational contracts to move away from the older diesel technology into fully electric buses. There are a number of obvious obstacles that must be overcome on this journey. Charging infrastructure, road weight limits, the high relative cost of the technology, and the problem of potentially stranded assets. We wanted to establish a clearer pathway toward this objective, and we realised that this could best be achieved in the context of a wider conversation involving the diverse interests that are at play in opening the door to electric vehicles in this country. Thus this meeting. One of the key elements here is the role of the government in tilting the playing field. A very good start has been made, and I congratulate the Minister for his personal activism and the recent suite of innovations in his electric vehicle policy package. These are a helpful addition. But we need more. The private motorist, for instance, needs more tangible tax and other incentives to make the switch. From a commuter bus perspective, we need concessions around the issue of weight limits to enable the early generation of heavier electric buses to be widely deployed. We look forward to hearing from the Minister and to providing him with whatever support he needs to successfully tilt that playing field. This country routinely touts its international credentials as clean and green, but the number of those who doubt the credibility of that claim, both here and elsewhere, is growing. Our climate change performance is among the least impressive in the developed world. We run the risk of being left behind, well behind, among the not-so-fast followers if we don't seize the initiative. And it seems to me that the transformation of our vehicle fleets to electric is an essential element in that. And I hope our discussions today can help kick-charge that transformation. And having delivered that small hospital pass to the Minister, I now invite Simon Bridges, the Minister of Energy and Transport, to address you. Thank you.